Hello and welcome. My name is Birungi Primah Elizabeth and this is Sauti Africa on Faraja Digital Television. This is a space where we bring you young people that are creating change in their communities. We hope to create awareness with this kind of platform, but not just creating awareness, but we hope to inspire you to probably start doing something for your community as well. My guest is a very special person. I've interacted with her before. Her name is Lamu. Lamu is a thriving musician here in Uganda. What is special about Lamu is that she's so passionate about climate change. She has actually been the reigning Miss Earth Uganda for the year 2022. We'll get into that. But also she's very, very involved in charity and helping people. So we want to learn from her and create awareness for the kinds of programs that she's running. Lamu, you're so welcome to this show.
Thank you for having me.
It's such an honor. It's a pleasure to have you here. So who is Lamu and where do you place yourself and your work in this whole society puzzle? Where do you place the kinds of things that you're doing?
I've tried to build my life in a way where Lamu the artist is aligned with Ahlam. My real names are Ahlam Ismail. And I like to help people. I've always been passionate about climate change. I've always felt like my life would lead me to like a place where I'm helping people. Like I've always had that feeling inside me for so long that everything that I do would have like more meaning to it. So when I started doing music, I wasn't sure, and I feel like no one is ever sure when they're doing stuff.
So true.
Like you just do stuff because a voice has led you there or something, thoughts have led you there and you do it, and maybe you're good at it or maybe you learn how to be good at it. But then over the years, like I've just had this calling towards building my music in a way that I'm not just dressing up and doing videos and dancing on stage, which is awesome. It's a way to inspire young people as well.
It's you somehow following your heart to the next step to where it leads, because there is a whole notion right now that we have to have things figured out. And from your story and who you are, it seems that you don't put the pressure on yourself to always have everything figured out at a certain point.
There's a book I read, and I feel like our viewers out there need to read this book. It's called The Alchemist. At some point in the book, they talk about how the universe, or those who believe in God, or whatever you believe in, right? There's something out there that's giving you messages, that's telling you to do things, right? And then for me, it was, you need to sing, Lamu, like you need to sing. There was a point in my life where I didn't have anything going on. I wasn't in school, I had dropped out of school. I was severely depressed. I didn't know I was depressed. You know, where
many young people
I didn't know I was depressed, and I couldn't even like express myself. And something kept telling me sing. And like that has been the best way for me to express myself. And my first year singing was such a great year. That was like 2019. It was when I decided like I'm going to sing, I'm going to be a singer. It was so good. When you do something that you want to do and it's successful, if you want to sell vegetables, if you want to open a grocery store and you're able to sell tomatoes for your first day or your second day or your third day, I think it's a sign that you're good at this and it works. It's not always going to be that level of success every single day. And I think that's what has guided me like to this point. When the opportunity to do Miss Earth came, I talked to the national director about it, and I was like, what are we going to do about the tattoos and what? And you know, she told me we can cover up the tattoos. during the competition. We can cover up the scars. We can build you in a way that fits into the pageant competition for Miss Earth, right? But for me, it wasn't like because I wanted to compete in that competition or win in that competition. This was an opportunity for me to have a title, Miss Earth Uganda. And this crown has opened doors for me. I don't know if you watched the video I did about my experience with the national director.
Yes.
It was horrible.
Yes.
Like pageantry itself is horrible. From my experience, it wasn't so good. They promised to pay me money. They didn't pay the money. They promised to support me and train me. They did not do that, right? But having that title, when I spoke to my mentors and my friends, and I talked to them and I told them, should I take this to court? Should I? Because I want the money. It was 10 million Ugandan shillings. I wanted the money. I needed the money. But then most people around me advised me, don't take it to court. You have the crown. You have the title. Everyone knows you're Miss Earth Uganda. It's yours for a whole year. Yeah, when you're entering like organizations or government offices and, oh, my name is Ahla, I'm an artist. It's like, they can't really trust you.
Yeah.
But I do not know why. Put on that sash and that crown.
Show up.
Done. It's done. So my experience was not the best, but I made the best out of it. I had a calling to talk about climate change, and I'm still doing it, and I won't stop. Even now that my reign has come to an end and we handed over to the next queen. Yeah.
What I see in your story is a lot of passion amidst the struggle. What I see in your story is a lot of support as well. You sought people to support you.
Yeah.
But again, what I see in your story is critically choosing the kinds of battles that you fight as a young person. Because while we reach out, while young people try to do change, you find that we want to get on to everyone who is not supporting us, everyone who's disappointed us. So I see you paint a picture of the kind of struggle that you have gone through. And one of the other challenges that I think someone like you could be facing is that people will always think you're probably available.
Yeah.
You have the resources, or you are able to help them every single time they reach out to you. How are you able to mark your boundaries as Lamu? Because people want to see you help them and you have the passion to help them. But how do you create the boundary that I can't pick a call maybe at this time, or I will not show up at this place because you're a passionate person? So we need young people to understand how to draw that kind of boundary.
Boundaries comes from confidence. Like when you build confidence, when you put in the work and the time into yourself as an individual, when you know this is where I'll go, this is where I won't go, or I'll do this for free and I will work with this organization but at a fee. It's about just the time that you put into yourself and knowing the things that you can do and the things that you can't do. So I can't really say that there is one way, like, okay, do this and you're set, you will know your boundaries. No, it's something an individual navigates on their own. For me, at a point, I was someone who would just be all over the place. Like I would be here, and at the end of it, you find out you've done nothing. You've not cemented yourself somewhere. You've not achieved the goal, the long-term goal.
Yeah.
You would honestly rather just sit down and say, I'll work with 3 organizations, or I will intern for free for 6 months. After that, I'm out. Or, I will stick with this organization. They might not be this. Like, it's just you sitting down and navigating these boundaries and setting them up for yourself.
One of the things that Lamu has been doing through her reign, and I want to kind of commend her because all the struggles that she mentions are at the end of her reign. You don't see her complain while she does what she's doing. Recently, she was working with a brand that was promoting reusable sanitary towels. So Lamu, you're doing so much. It is so commendable for such a young person like you. So in terms of charity, like what have you done? what inspired you to maybe now do charity, not just now climate change, but charity in itself? How did you get into that place? I know the crown helped you a lot, but you are someone that has been consistent on the scene.
It's so important as human beings. It's that connection we have, and we must like groom it, and we must like be proud of it. You get? And when I started to do that, when I did a Christmas party, what I wanted to do that year was take purifiers. So there are these water purifiers, right? They had been donated to me to figure out who to give to. And they were just sitting there at home. I did not even have like the transport, because they needed to be transported because they are ceramic, in like a car, well packed, everything. I'm like, where am I gonna get a car from? So that's how it all started. I started to call friends, and that's how it always starts, the people around you. And that's how it started. I reached out to 3 friends, and they were all like responding, 200K, 200K, 400K. So I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do with this? And then we started to expand, and I wrote a whole list of like the things that the people needed in that community. So we went to Safe Haven. It's a home for street kids. They try to rehabilitate street kids, get them off the street. And we ended up having this full-blown party with food. People donated paint for the large. People donated mattresses.
Wow.
People donated iron sheets for their home where the boys stay. People from all over. I had friends in Rwanda sending money. Like, I could not believe. I couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't believe just one phone call, and it blew out. Yeah.
Thank you. Lamu, you're so passionate about the things you do. We would like to know maybe one of the organizations that you've worked with that you think people should support. Could you say something about that?
Yeah, I've partnered and worked with various organizations. I won't be able to mention all of them, but there is particularly one that I have to talk about, and you guys have to check them out. They are called Touch the Slum, and they are based in Namongo slum. They are focused on helping teenage mothers and teenage girls, keeping them out of sex work and all these other things, bringing them back to school, teaching them literacy, how to literally read and count, and they take them through also vocational training, all this in one place. They take them through business training. They even give them startup capital to start their businesses. And I've watched them and worked with them closely for about 2 years now. So I can stand here and tell you guys that I've seen some of these girls come in. They have children and they're just teenagers. And you think, oh, that's where the story ends. No. And the next time you see them, they're these different people, and they are renting, and they are sending money home, and they're out of sex work, which is unsafe for teenage girls, obviously. So definitely go check out Touch the Slum, guys, and support them. You can donate to them because they do not, the girls do not pay school fees. The girls live on the areas, and they're literally fed. So they need our support. Go and donate to Touch the Slum. Go visit them, see how you can help. Definitely, that's a good place to start.
What I hear in Lamu's story is intention, being intentional about what you want to do as a young person. What I hear from your story is, there's a thing that people like to say, that when you say out what you want, like sort of like the universe aligns to kind of like create. So I think young people can pick that. If you have an idea, try to say it out to someone that you think can help. You never know how resources start to align in your favor. Lamu, we are about to finish, but I just want you to encourage someone out there, someone that maybe is even younger than you are. They have an idea, they want to do something, or they're already part of something. Encourage someone out there to probably persevere or start out on what they want to do.
I think there are a few things I can say. I would ramble like for hours and hours, but I'll try and keep it brief. The viewers out there who are watching this and are inspired by our little session that we've had here, if you have an idea, if you have a dream, if you feel like you have a purpose, something you want to do, I think the first step is to start. Like always start with the little you have. The mistake young people make is to think that there is a better time and a better place and a better what. Like you can't know until you try. Just try. Obviously, be cautious. Do things the right way. Don't just fall, you know. But the best way to learn and know for sure if something works or how it works is by doing it. So just do it. Literally, just start, and you'll grow from there.
Lamu, where can people find you? Your music, your work, social media?
You guys can find me on social media, Lamu Sounds, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, as well as YouTube. I have some music up there on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, you name it, Lamu Sounds.
Thank you so much, everyone, for making the time to watch us, to listen to this conversation. We hope that you are inspired. We hope that you learned something. We hope that you picked something. Just a short recap from everything. From Lamu's story, we see a lot of intention, we see a lot of courage, we see a lot of perseverance, we see a lot of seeking support. You can't do what you want to do on your own. So we encourage you to take some of these steps, to do something for the community. Remember to find us Faraja Digital Television on all social media platforms, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram. Thank you so much for having us.